here's a question for you. What if you never cut your fingernails again? Most of us give our nails a trim every week or so, but what if we stop? Maybe let them grow wild, long, impossibly long. This is the story of a man whose nails grew for 66 years, a lifetime of growth, one nail at a time. This is the longest fingernails in the world. They belong to a man called Shridhar. And before we show them to you, just try to guess how long they are. Ready? Here you go. Welcome to this channel. This is Shridhar's right hand. Nothing unusual about it, right? 5 nice-looking fingernails. But what about his left hand? Ta-da! Take a good look because you won't believe what you're seeing. There's a spiral of keratin coming out of his pinky finger, curling and twirling, inching closer and closer to the ceiling. This one nail alone is over 9 meters long. That's more than 30 feet, all told. The nails on his left hand measure 9.1 meters in total. To put that in perspective, that's about the length of a London bus. So, how did this happen? Well, it started with a promise. It ended with a world record. Let me explain. These are Shridhar's fingernails today, but let me wind back the clock, all the way back to 1952, when Shridhar was just 14 years old. Back then, he lived in a small village in Pune, India. His father was a farmer, his mother a housewife. He had 4 brothers and 3 sisters. It was a poor family, but they were happy. Young Shridhar loved school. He loved learning. And most of all, he loved his teacher, Mrs. Vimala. She taught him 3rd grade, and she was very strict. One day, young Shridhar broke one of his fingernails. So the next day, he went to school, hoping his teacher wouldn't notice. But Mrs. Vimala saw right away. "Shridhar," she said, "why have you been hiding?" Then she took her scissors and trimmed his nail for him. Now, this wasn't anything out of the ordinary. We all get our nails trimmed by teachers, parents, or friends from time to time. But for some reason, this really upset Shridhar. Maybe he wanted to do it himself. Maybe he felt embarrassed. Whatever the reason, he had an idea. "I won't cut my nails again," he thought. "That's it. No more cutting." Now, at first, nobody noticed. After all, his nails were just little bits of keratin. What were they gonna do? Take over the world? But as months turned into years, the nails got longer and longer. By the time he was 18, his fingernails were already unmanageable. They hurt, they bled, they got infected. But Shridhar refused to cut them. Even sleeping was a challenge. Imagine trying to sleep with these things flailing around your face all night long. Even simple things like eating or reading became great difficulties. But Shridhar persevered. And then something amazing happened. His nails became a part of him. It's hard to explain. But after decades of growth, they seemed to have become an extension of his body, like extra limbs. See, as Shridhar got older, he continued working the land, plowing fields and planting crops. All the while, his nails kept growing, getting longer and thicker. Sometimes he'd pull a nail out of the ground and use it as a tool. As you can see, they're strong enough to do that. But living a simple rural life wasn't enough for Shridhar. He wanted to see the world. So he traveled to Mumbai and found work as a shoe shiner. This was in the 1980s. His brother Baban helped him find a spot in a busy marketplace. Soon enough, customers were queuing up to have their shoes cleaned by a man with 9-meter-long fingernails. Can you imagine? Some people were scared. Others were impressed. Many had never seen anything like it. But business wasn't always good. Here's the thing about having incredibly long fingernails. People don't want to hire you. Sure, you might make a great electrician or shoe shiner or cook, but those nails can get in the way. Not to mention that they're pretty fragile. One wrong move, and you could break them. And trust us, When that happens, you don't want to be the one to fix it. So sometimes Shridhar would go days without making a single rupee. But again, he persevered. Then in 2002, a reporter named Santosh Kenkar wrote a story about Shridhar and his world-breaking nails. Suddenly, television crews showed up and the phone started ringing. A major political party invited Shridhar to campaign for them. Apparently having absurdly long fingernails made him look trustworthy. Not that that mattered to he still had no intention of cutting them. Never, he said. It's too late now. A year later, his moment arrived. Representatives from the Guinness Book of World Records flew to Mumbai and verified Shridhar's nails. It was official. He was a world record holder. In the years that followed, Shridhar's fame only grew. People from all over the world wanted to meet the man with the world's longest fingernails. He was interviewed on the Oprah Winfrey Show. His nails were put on display at the New Delhi Science Center, and in 2018, he finally agreed to cut them off. After 66 years, those massive nails were snipped and shipped to New York, where they now reside at the Ripley's. Believe it or not, they've been turned into a piece of art, which is probably exactly what Shridhar would have wanted. Because here's the thing about that record. It wasn't about vanity. It wasn't about being showy. It was about identity. Shridhar changed his fingernails once to rebel against his teacher, and 66 years later, they had become a part of him. Like we said, it's hard to explain. Imagine dedicating more than half a century to something completely pointless. Some might call it obsession. Others might say it was discipline or perhaps art form. But however you want to put it, it's safe to say that Shridhar's nails were extraordinary. When you look at them, you can't help but be amazed. How could anyone do this to themselves? And even if they did, how could they stand it? But Shridhar did. He stood it. In fact, he thrived. We'll let you ponder that one, and instead, we'll wrap things up. Here's the thing about Shridhar's nails. Yes, they were a big inconvenience. Yes, they hurt, and yes, he often slept with one hand tucked under his chin to avoid poking himself in the face. But Shridhar never complained, and that's the spirit that we really want to take away from this video. You see, Shridhar could have cut his nails at any time. He chose not to. He chose to persevere. He chose to turn a minor act of teenage rebellion into a lifelong commitment. And that's something worth celebrating. So the next time you sit down to dinner and realize that you have untrimmed your nails in weeks, you know what to do. Take a cue from Shridhar. Embrace the chaos. Become legendary. Thank you for watching.